Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to talk a little bit more about side events and also this first time ever community-wide event. And since I dropped the announcement, there has been a ton of negative feedback. I myself have watched several videos on YouTube of largely people criticizing this. I watched Seaton's videos, I watched Katie Candy, I watched Ridge the Man, who was kind of taking an opposite stance, and that's cool. And here's the thing though. It's quite clear that largely everybody is extremely disappointed and kind of fed up with these kind of like boring grindfest of events, also this overhyped community-wide event. And yeah, that's the worst thing that you can do to someone, is build up their hopes and then just crush them. Right, however, today's video is going to be on a bit different note, because I myself am getting a bit fed up of all the negativity, of all the kind of moans and groans we have with Kabam. And today we're going to try and take a bit of constructive approach. Now, just because today's video is going to be a bit more constructive does not mean I'm in any way, shape or form trying to excuse them, or am I all right with whatever they're doing. But at the same time, I just want to put out my ideas out there, so nobody can point a finger and say that you guys just scream and yell and want more or what have you. I generally do want this game to succeed. I do want it to be better. I want to have more fun in it, and I want to have more people playing it and less people retire. But because every other video I post these days, basically there is a comment that, oh, I retired this last week or 2 months ago and it's been so fantastic since. So yeah, I want Kabam to succeed. I want this game to get more popular. And I want also to offer a slight bit of my help and a couple of suggestions from myself to perhaps kind of like give a bit more decent positive ideas. So we're going to start off first things first with side events in general. So it is fairly common that every month we get some sort of side event where we earn an extra bunch of rewards, and they vary from month to month. But there are still always a couple of common goals and ideas each side event should have. And how can you measure the quality of these side events? First things first, it's always a case of effort for the reward. Now, when the reward bit comes, let's face it, side events are not really the most rewarding game mode, neither they should be. However, we also shouldn't be forced to spend thousands of energy and fight multiple hundreds of fights throughout the month to obtain these rewards. And here is the base kind of idea. Each side event should have as few fights as possible to make it distinctively different from another side event, yet at the same time something that actually does take your focus into the event, and so that you kind of like memorize it, and you can't have it too long. For instance, 15 fights per day or a side event, it's too much. It's too much, especially considering there's energies and these fights take time, and after a while they get tedious. Every single side event that comes in this game typically is exciting for the first week, and it feels like a chore for the last 3 weeks. So here is a base point. In my opinion, each side event in game should follow that every single day does not involve you doing more than 10 fights maximum. Ideally cut it somewhere in between 5 to 8 or something like that, but definitely not more than 10 fights a day scheduled per player for a side event. Especially because quite few of these side events health pools are fairly sizable, and these fights do take time, obviously depending on difficulty. Also, that is a variable that we should look at. However, the number one thing for any side event not to get boring and repetitive is the length of it. I mean, to a degree, it will get boring and repetitive no matter what you do. If you repeat the same action 30 times, you're gonna have a lot less excitement for it on day 26 than you used to have on day 2, for instance, or day 1. But at the very least, make it seem effortless, not tedious. Don't make us spend half an hour, 40 minutes to go through these maps. Second bit is energy. There's a lot to do in the game, and I do understand that Kabam is a gaming company that does earn quite a bit from selling energy refills, because that is where a lot of us spend our units. That is a lot of us where basically just hoard them, and we do use our energy refills because of these side events and because we want to get other stuff done. But why don't you just take a little bit of a step back? No side event should have thousands of energy requirements, stuff like that. We have uncollecteds, we have variants, we have everything else to do in the game, daily catalyst farms and what have you not. Just give us a break, cut down the energy cost either to 1 in every event, or ideally make them energy free. That is the second kind of biggest point of critique. Now the third bit where I'm going to talk about the rewards. And the rewards, well, first of all, the fact that at October 2018 we have a quest that's so much shorter and has pretty much better rewards than the one of a year later clearly shows that the Kabam's idea of total reward distribution has not changed within a year, and it should have. And the idea, however, behind the rewards, and I do understand that they probably have some sort of limit that they are allowed to allocate for players to get, which in my opinion should get progressively higher every other month or so. Still, there is a big factor. A lot of these events kind of feel that they try to compass quite large variety of rewards, at the same time kind of ignoring another bits entirely, and that leaves nobody satisfied. Every single side event typically that has been popular in community, you either had really good RNG chances and rifts to get something good and decent and something sizable, or B, you either had a lot of rewards, but obviously that's not always possible, and then C, which is most important, is the fact that summoners can choose their own rewards. Like a Rocket Scrapyard, I think, was a perfect, fantastic side event. You earn your points throughout the month and then you go and spend them how you see fit. And basically most of the events where we as a players are given the choice to use the points, whatever kind of in-game currency we earn throughout the month, and the fact that we can spend it on items that we want, makes that side event, any side event, immediately much more attractive. So my advice to Kabam is to be very conscious about the length of these side events. Lesser the grind significantly. Never go more than 10 fights a day in any side event, in my opinion. That's like an absolute maximum. B, make sure it doesn't cost a lot of energy. And C, ideally give us options. Let us choose from the things you offer. So each account is different, each account's needs are different, each player is different. We have the stuff that we're missing and we have the stuff that we prioritize. Let us do that. We're not 5, we can make decisions for ourselves. Give us the option too. So those are my 3 main kind of like constructive points how I wish all side events in this game for most part would be configured. Make them faster, means less grind, well, less energy. Let us choose the rewards. Ideally, obviously increase the rewards because they are nah. But you can't have everything, and I'm trying to keep this video constructive. But yeah, that is the point about the side events. And however, the community-wide event has also been an absolute disaster because, well, let's face it, nobody is excited for it. Everybody was excited for it when Kabam announced it. Nobody's excited anymore. Nobody's smiling. You can read the feedback. I'm not going to go through all the 3 pages of it. But yeah, it's not looking good. And largely, why it's not looking good? Because they are merely offering us stuff we already had. There's no items involved. There are just these little quirky things they had already added in game, and this time it just feels that they have put it against gates. I have basically expressed myself quite well in my yesterday's video about exactly what I think about this event, but again, we're trying to keep this constructive. And therefore, I read in one of the comments that Kabam said basically, we did not want to give in-game items directly, therefore we had to come up with something new, which is fair enough. However, we're going to approach it to the 2 points. So if you do not want to give us in-game items directly, but you give us events that will make us play more to earn the in-game items. Let's take a gold arena, for example, right? Gold arena basically gives you gold. It's a different event altogether. So you're basically forcing me to participate in one event to get a privilege to participate in the second event, which is arena, which many of us hate, in order to get in-game item. So they were saying they don't want to give us in-game items. However, when we go through different type of events, we end up with in-game items. Right? Why? Because everything in this game is in-game items, whether it's champion, whether it's shards, whether it's catalyst, whether it's gold, whether it's whatever else it is. We play this game essentially for these items. By inventing some sort of roundabout loophole ways how we inevitably will measure this event in in-game items, you're just making life harder for yourself. You could have went and simply gave us those items, right? And then I understand, because each account progression is different, and you can't really equalize the items. For instance, Cavalier people are interested in 6-star shards largely, TFIB and so on. People who start out are interested in different stuff. So the question is, how do you manage to keep these items kind of like interesting for everybody in this community? Well, the first fail already there, if that was part of their motivation, why they didn't want to give us straight out items, is the last milestone. The big grand prize says free Alliance quest maps. Well, guess what, you smart hats? Alliance quest maps 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 is free for everybody. This is a reward only for endgame players anyways. Yes, there are some alliances who choose to play map 4 instead of 5 because of donations. However, these donations for maps 5 and 6 are not the highest. Typically, it's because they're not capable of playing these maps. Yes, technically it's a good chance to entice them, whatever, but you're completely ignoring everybody who plays, let's say, maps 1 to 3. They're not gonna suddenly jump to map 5 or 6 or 7. If somebody is playing this game for a relatively short period of time, they don't have a roster, doesn't matter how much the Alliance quest map costs, they're still not gonna use it. So automatically, by default, this prize, this grand reward, is completely ignoring probably half the player base. I mean, obviously I don't have the stats, but still, I imagine it would be a large portion. So if they wanted to make these events that are kind of rewarding and intriguing for everybody in the game, then they made the final milestone that half of the people who are going to be participating in this event will not care about whatsoever at any level. But my point is, there are plenty of in-game items that maintain their value, whether you are in day 1, 5, whether you have been playing for a year or 4. Yes, Cavalier players care mainly about TFIB and 6-star shards, let's say. But every player in the game likes energy refills, right? Why don't you simply offer them in spades? Offer them for a month full. Make sure that we get 50 energy refills throughout this event and we don't have to worry about having energy and stuff like that. And that would be a really great encouraging prize for us to play more. Because you give us energy refills as a first milestone, let's say 50 of them. People are going to be enticed to use them. Therefore, play more and hit the next milestones. That is how you entice the player base to play more. You give us the tools to do so. So energy refills, super useful for level 1, 15, 30 player, Cavalier, endgame whale. Everybody can use energy refills. Give those as the first milestone. Make us play more, because more energy refills, we have to get rid of them somehow. We're gonna go questing, right? Why not? That would be a fantastic idea and a clever thought process how to entice your players to play the game more, which is your end game goal with this event, right? Second event. Second milestone can be revives, team revives, potions. Those maintain their value throughout everywhere. Everybody uses revives, everybody makes mistakes, whether it's player level 10, whether it's player level 40, whether it's player level 60, whether you're clearing act 2 or 6, you will make mistakes, you will need revives. Revives cost exactly the same amount of units for everybody. Give them. So in addition, you gave us energy refills and we do as much content as we can. we start to struggle, especially for those who try to push some harder content, you give us refills and revives to kind of push further. Fantastic. People want to play more because they can. They don't have to grind for 2 weeks to have units to go and clear a quest they were struggling for. They have these amazing gifts that they feel that they have earned from you, right? And there are plenty of other items in game, such as energy refills, potions, signature stones, maybe to a lesser extent, boosts. Like, we have the boost calendar, that's fantastic, but still. And anyways, there are many items that everybody likes. They're not the most exciting stuff, but they make this game tick. Your refills, your potions, your whatnot, your boosts. And obviously, then you need something for the grand finale, since you have loaded people with energy refills and revives and encourage people to go and quest somewhere in the middle, maybe throw some arena refreshes stuff. That also basically works in the same idea, because everybody likes to have those when they grind, when they try to go hard for a featured champion. You could have given everybody 100 arena refreshes and everybody would go in arena nuts and would play the game more and you'd love it. Anyways, once you have given people the tools that they earned to play this game more, you need this final great piece of reward that everybody should want to strive and achieve. What is going to be this great final piece of reward? Probably the best thing you as a company did this year, which is 90-day Summoner Appreciation Login Calendar. If you put it as a final milestone, as a goal for everybody to push, that's going to be exciting, because when and if we get that calendar, it's going to feel that we earned it. It's going to feel that you as a gaming company worked together with us to help us get these better rewards, because you would have given us all these refills, all these revives, all these potions, all these arena refresh, recharge things, whatever they're, stamina refills, I think. All these boosts to help us push, be better, work harder, and get this magnificent 90-day Summoner Appreciation Calendar, which everybody loved, right? And that is how you make an awesome community-wide event. Because the way I described it just now, it didn't exclude anyone. As I mentioned before, player level 10 to player level 60 will always appreciate energy refills, revives, potions, stamina refills. Everybody is gonna get given a chance to finish the content they haven't finished. And most importantly, you will achieve your goal, which is to try and make us play more. And then we have this great reward, which doesn't even kind of like matter as much as, because it is spread over 90 days, but it's going to feel fantastic to achieve something great like that. And that is what should have been done, in my opinion. Do I have any more suggestions and ideas? Yes, but I think the video will be long enough for today. If you guys are interested in any other tips or my opinions or my constructive feedback and suggestions to Kabam, leave me a comment. If anybody from Kabam is watching and find any of these ideas interesting, I would greatly appreciate if you actually would let me know and reach out to me. But that will do for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I once again was a bit tired of all the negativity myself, because getting into a very negative kind of like space when everything is bad, everything is disappointing. Well, Kabam makes it easy for us, but it's not a good place to be yourself as a person. So I was trying to get myself a bit out of it, and rather than just throw my hands up in there, which, make no mistake, I will soon again. There are a few more videos in plans. I also wanted to change up the pace and put up something maybe productive, maybe you guys would appreciate it as well. But yeah, so that will do for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.